Pozdrav gospodo. It is my great displeasure to inform you, dear viewer, you have been misled. For the last year your delicate ears have been attacked, assaulted by various people that spread their lies for momentary pleasure. But I am not one of those people. I have arrived to tell you the truth about politics in video games. You see, politics in video games never actually worsened the gaming experience, and to prove that I have taken upon myself this monstrous responsibility by playing the most political game ever made, a metaphor for modern day politics, placed in the mythical lands of the Balkans. And so it begins. Thief Simulator 2. I do apologize, I made a slight mistake. I was meant to say Balkan Simulator 2. It's a game where you play as the prodigal son of Alexander Vucic and Putin Vladimir. The "it" is silent. In this game, your objective is to borrow items from concerned citizens, sell them, and then finance the most needy of our society. That means me! The story begins as many great stories. We try to steal and enrich the poor, but some goons have returned to their hideout and stopped our noble endeavor. We escape quietly, but not without consequences. You see, the guy we borrowed from could not see eye to eye with us, so he put a hit on us. But thankfully, there is one person that could help us.
Alright, so you're in some deep shit. It took long enough. Look, you're my friend and all. I'll help you get out of this mess, but not for free.
Our first stop is an abandoned house, once that belonged to a deranged hermit. As there was no other option, we ventured forth to collect as many non-necessities as possible. We entered the premises, secured all the valuables, and proceeded further in the story. Our dear friend has granted us a mythical ability for our next mission, including lockpicking and my favorite ability, wall hacks. You should be glad that you didn't receive this ability. After borrowing from a couple of houses, I found my favorite person in the game, Bob. You see, Bob is a special kind of person. He's depressed after losing all semblance of meaning and responsibility. He lives alone and has no human contact whatsoever. It is my great pleasure to inform the general audience that I have taken upon myself to help reintegrate my friend Pete into society. I started living together with him to keep him company and to remove any and all objects that could stop the healing process. USB full of naughty Luigi pics. Gone. Cheap wine. Gone as well. Cooking equipment. After a couple of days of living with this young man, I saw in his eyes a glimmer of hope. And that, my friends, is when I decided to leave my friend. I was certain he would find his own way, the right way. And after a couple of days I have returned and see he has truly become the man he always should have been. No longer does he drink, no longer does he spend his days in the kitchen. The first signs of improvement. I decided to let myself in and congratulate him. But when I entered his house, I was not greeted by a cheek kiss nor a homosexual hug, but a cold back stood in front of me, defiantly, unmistakable. That was Bob. So I tried to talk to him, reason with him. I even gently whispered in his ears, but to no avail. But the prick wouldn't have it. He didn't want to listen. After pushing my luck a bit more, he decided the only way to receive my kindness was with unkind. This event signified a big change in my psyche. And sitting here alone in this cold, damn cell, I have decided I will take my revenge against Bob. For he is the enemy of the people. My constituents, my buddies, my brothers. Do you know why people cannot feed their children, it's because of Bob. Yes, Bob is the problem. Bob is the reason for world hunger. He is the problem in this world. The fat prick. You know climate change? You know who's responsible for that? It's Bob. He is at the center of it all. And so I have decided my next course of action. If he really did not like my help before, I would reset him. I went to his house and placed all the wine I could find into his house for him to drink. As well, I have decided to range full offense psychological warfare. I will start opening doors, cupboards and drawers during the day and night for him to find and wonder, did I leave that open? And slowly but surely, day by day, he will start questioning himself. Why is the drawer open? Did I not close it after retrieving my McDonald's hamburger tucked between the cracks of my underwear? Why are there lights on during the night? Why do you get the feeling that something is wrong? Why is the house so quiet? Where is everybody? Am I being watched? In his time of need, he will accept the hard truth he himself had denied all this time. The alcohol was never the problem, nor was it his mother that had abandoned him to fulfill her dream of becoming a VTuber, nor his uncle that whispered the Little Mermaid when he was little, nor his sister that has contracted the most deadly disease the world has ever seen, being a vegan. No, he himself was the problem, and in the cold winter night, he will start questioning everything. Why did the Little Mermaid die in the end? What is the next step after the story is finished? He could not and will not answer any of those questions, for thinking would mean facing the cold hard truth. But one thing for certain is that the drawer was closed. Well then, let's continue the story. If I were to give a resume to my future employer, I will mention all my work helping people with addiction problems. As per instructions from my fathers, controlling what people think and enjoy can prolong their lifespan and well-being. So during late evening hours of the night, I took possession of a computer that belonged to a thick-faced lesbian woman. After learning how to hack, I spent time going through all the files on the computer, and what I found was shocking. My eyes were assaulted by the numerous pictures of furries and other monster-type fetishes. I did not know what to think about this, so I had to consult with a higher being. After the consultation, I decided the next course of action was to remove all the unethical videos on the hard drive and replace them with Big Mama videos. I was sure this was the right move. I returned the PC in the room and waited for the response. Truly, her cheer of joy was pleasant to my ears. This was my routine for the next couple of days, and whoever had the worst homework folder, the electronics will be sold off and the money will go to my dream car. And that is how I helped rehabilitate the poor addicts. But do not worry, all their information was saved on my personal computer, which for reference I would use to make sure my potential voters would remain on the right side of history. I will not lie, life is tough. After a few failed attempts of political conversation, I got a call from my father. Such wise words. But in his rambling, there was something that caught my attention. The word education. Was my life off course because of my lack of education? This single thought made me question my life. Was I really making people happy? Was I really making people's life better? Yes! But just maybe, my future endeavors can be even more perfect, even better, if I just had a proper education. So I searched online for the best college in the country, only to find my biggest obstacle so far. I will have to take out student loans, but this will not be a problem. I applied and then I waited, and waited, and waited. Oh, I received an email from my student loans. My hope was running thin until I remembered I could always take a loan from the bank. I made my plans and was ready. I ventured to the bank, and after many attempts to get a loan, I finally succeeded. I collected enough to start my college life, pay out my debt to P. Diddy, and more importantly, I found a working calculator. I got a call. P. Diddy calling. He was happy that I paid my debt away and that unfortunately, someone had to die. My mysterious friend had to perish. I asked for some time to think things over. I went to Bob, and seeing him again brought back a lot of resentment I had for him. But also, my love for him. I will help him before I decide the outcome. For maybe, just maybe, I can finally rest easy after helping my closest friend. I started putting all his stuff back into his apartment, even upgraded the self-made gun with an actual gun with live ammo. After a few days my mind was clear, my heart as well. If Bob and the rest of the people will shine like I make them, then certainly one life is not a high price to pay. I told Diddy to go ahead, and Diddy organized the meeting place in a favorite place, a child's playground. I hid the nearby bushes and waited. What I saw shocked me to my core. The guy we were talking about, my mysterious friend, was Bob all along. He was the one man I truly cared for and truly loved. Our brother, our friend. I prayed that it was a mistake, but it was not. He went to the meeting point, and before I could even react, days passed, nights went silent. I laid in my bedchambers, not moving. Sadness, tragedy, melancholy. There were no words that could describe the pain I felt. A piece of me is broken, never to be repaired. What even am I without Bob? Have I truly helped anybody like this? My money is rising in my bank account, but I still have nothing left. Maybe I should quit being a politician. Maybe I was never meant to be one at all. But then somebody whispered into my ears. Free speech. Looking at his cold, dead eyes, I could see a path I would have never chosen if Bob was alive. This is the path I was meant to be on. After a few years, we will ban bad words as hate speech. Some would oppose, but some will agree. Along the line, controversial statements will be banned as well. If you dare insult us, that will also be a crime, and criminals go to jail. For why would a good citizen insult a person who wants to help their peers? Slowly, day by day, they will lose their will and freedom. In the future, you will not be able to criticize even the most basic rule, for that will be an insult to our competency. You will not think, you will not do, you will work and live the way we decide. For this is your purpose, your role in this life. And one day you will forget what freedom even is. Freedom will be scary, hurtful, disgusting. Do not ask, do not question, do not think. For you do not need to. This is the future that you can't escape from, because it's already happening. All because Bob is dead. And you are not Bob.